بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Okay, so this is I think this is the fourth lesson, our fourth lesson, going through the explanation of Madinah Book 1. And also we said that we're bringing benefits from other books like Al-Ajurumiyya and the Alfiya of Imām or Ibn Malik. So last week we promised that I'll give you a sheet that was missing. I forgot to print last week, and that's the sheet which says Jumlatun. There are two types of sentences in Arabic, and we have the word Jumlatun in a speech bubble or a cloud. So the two types of sentences in Arabic are a Jumlatun Ismiya, a nominal sentence, which is a sentence which begins with a noun. An example, Al-Baytu Qareebun, the house is close, Al-Bayt being a noun. And the second type of Jumla, في اللغة العربية, is Jumlatun Fi'liyatun, which is a verbal sentence, and that's a sentence which begins with a verb. For example, ذهب محمد إلى المسجد, Muhammad went to the masjid. Just quick benefit here, the reason why I don't translate masjid to be mosque, because I remember doing some research in the past. Mosque comes from the Spanish word or Latin, Spanish word mosquito, and when the Spanish or when they came to Spain, saw that Islam was prevalent, they promised to squash and destroy all the masajid like they were squashed mosquitoes. So that's why mosque, the word mosque, it comes from the Spanish word mosquito or Latin mosque. It goes back to the word mosquito, and it was a derogative, a word used to belittle, to be honest, the masajid. So that's the reason why I don't like to say masjid is mosque. I would prefer to say masjid, a place where sujood takes place. So that's the reason why I don't put mosque there. The truth of the story, Wallahu Alam, I'll rather leave it out. Alhamdulillah, even the non-Muslims know that we go to a masjid, mosque, and what have you. A lot of them know that this is a mosque, or what they know as a mosque. Okay, so ذهب محمد إلى المسجد. That was from last week. This week, also last week we went through hada, and we said that hada can be looked at in many ways. First being hada, if you go to the speech bubble from or the spider diagram from last week, we know that hada is an ismul. First it means this. It's also an ismul ishara, a demonstrative pronoun. Hada is mabni. It's indeclinable, meaning that the case ending never changes. It's always hada. It's never hadu, hadi, hadan. It's always hada. We also said hada is used to point at that which is qareeb, that which is close. Hada is also lil mufrad, to point at a singular noun. So we can't, if I had two students in front of me, I can't say hada talibani. Okay? Hada is only used to point at that which is mufrad, singular. We also said hada is used for mudhakkar, for masculine nouns. So if I had a sayyaratun, a car here, and I wanted to point at it, I cannot say hada sayyaratun, because sayyaratun is mu'annath and not mudhakkar. And we said a general principle is a mudhakkar noun is a noun which does not end with a ta marbuta, generally. Also, hada is li'aqil wa ghayru aqil, or ghayri aqil. It is to point at animate and inanimate nouns. And we know that animate nouns are mankind, al-insan, and malaika, angels, and the jinn, the spirits. Everything other than that is ghayru aqil, inanimate. So hada, if I had Muhammad here, I could say hada Muhammad. If I had a doctor here, I could say hada tabibun. Those nouns being aqil, animate nouns. And also, if I had a book here, I can say hada kitab. If I had a pen here, I can say hada qalamun, hada kitabun. Yeah. So hada I can use to point at inanimate, غير عاقل nouns, and عاقل nouns, animate nouns. Okay? We also said that هذا can be split into two. The ha, which is the harf of tanbih, is the harf we use to get your attention. Ha, ha. And we said that also comes after ayyu. So ya ayyuhal ladina. It comes attached to that's nida, harf nida. Oh, you who believe. Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu. And in ya ayyuha, the ending ha is a harf of tanbih. So ha in hadha is first used to draw your attention that what I'm saying is going to be important. And then the dha is the ismul ishar, is the demonstrative pronoun. So hadha. And finally we also said that hadha is, or not finally, hadha is ma'rifah, is definite. So if someone was to ask me, where is Muhammad? Aina Muhammad? I can say hadha, pointing at Muhammad. And by using hadha, I've defined and made Muhammad known to the questioner. So hadha in itself is ma'rifah. Furthermore, all demonstrative pronouns are ma'rifah, are definite. All of them. Okay? And finally, hadha is pronounced hadha, as if there's an alif after the ha, but it's written without the ha. Okay? Written without the alif, sorry. Written without the alif. So we pronounce it hadha as if we're writing an alif after the ha, but it's written, spelt without the alif. But in the Quran you may see a little alif just after or in between the ha and the dal. Okay? That's hadha. And we said that every sentence on the first page is a jumla ismiya, is a nominal sentence. Why? Because each one begins with hadha, and hadha is a noun or pronoun. It's a noun. So all of these sentences are jumla ismiyas, and we said in a jumla ismiya, you are looking, it consists of two things. It consists of a mubtada'un, a subject, and a khabarun, the predicate or the information about the subject. So hadha, this is the subject. Where is the predicate or the information about this subject? Baytun. This is a house. The house given information about the subject. So all of these sentences are jumla ismiyas. Each the first word in every sentence, hadha, is the mubtada, and the second word is the khabar. We did say there are some signs of the mubtada and the signs of the khabar. The two signs of a mubtada, we said that number one is definite, and number two it's the case ending is marfu'. Why is it that we can't see the case ending after hadha? Why isn't it ha-dhun or ha-dhu? Why isn't there a dhamma? Why, if I said that hadha is marfu', and we said the marfu' means you see a dhamma or dhammatan. Yes? The case ending marfu'. So why is it that we can't see that on hadha? Yes, it's mabni, it's indeclinable, meaning the case ending does not visibly change. You can't, hadha will always be hadha. It will never be a different ending. It always looks like that. The surah, the image is always like that. So that's why we can't see that it's marfu', right? It's marfu'. Whereas in the second word, in the two signs of the khabar, that the khabar is nakira, indefinite, meaning there is no al and no tanween at the end. So for example, baytun is nakiratun, indefinite. How do we know it's indefinite? Number one, if you have those sheets, Ikhwan, I do advise you to get yourself a folder. Get yourself a folder where you can easily go through your sheets. Preferably one of those folders with plastic, where you can put the sheets in very easily, slide it in. That way when I'm talking about a certain issue, you can nice and easily go back to it very quickly. So for example, we said baytun is nakira. How do I know it's nakira? There's no al, and there's the presence of the tanween, dhammatan. Yeah? It's nakira. Number two, baytun. How do we know baytun is also the khabar? It is also always marfu'. It always ends with the dhamma or it always ends with dhammatan. Baytun. So هذا is the mubtada. Why? Because it's ma'rifa marfu'. And baytun is the khabar. Why? Because it's nakira marfu'. You can see that nice and easily by going to the sheet which has some yellow boxes on it. I gave you a new sheet today. And it shows brief grammatical analysis of sentences on page 1. Brief grammatical analysis, which we done last week, of sentences on page 1. Has those yellow boxes there. So as I said, I have هذا بيت. هذا بيت is a jumlatun ismiya, a nominal sentence. So when we're dealing and analysing a jumla ismiya, we're analysing two components, the mubtada and the khabar. Yeah? We're looking at the subject and the predicate, or the information about the subject. So this sentence, هذا بيت, can be split into two then. هذا. So what is هذا? What's the brief or general, a brief grammatical analysis of هذا? It is a mubtada, subject, marfu', which is marfu', okay, which is, as generally speaking, has the case ending, which is dhamma dhamtan. But the reason why you can't see this is because هذا is mabni, indeclinable. You cannot visibly see the change in the case ending. Baytun is khabarun marfu'. It's the predicate, which is marfu'. And as you can see, the case ending is visible there. Now, as you go on, brothers and sisters, we'll go through the i'rab, the grammatical analysis will be a bit more detailed. So for example, it will change to, this is an ismul ishara mabniyun ala sukun, actually, because on this alif there's a sukun. Mabniyun ala sukun fi mahalli raf' mubtada. That's the long version. Yeah? Which means this is a demonstrative pronoun which is fixed on the ending is fixed on a sukoon. It is in the position, in the place of a subject. Therefore, it is marfu'. It's in a position where a word will be marfu'. Therefore, it's the mubtada. Okay, that's a long analysis which will come later on. Yeah. Baytun, the long analysis of that would be, Baytun is the khabar marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-damma al-zahira ala akhirih, which means Baytun is a predicate which is marfu', has the case ending which ends with a dhammatan, and the sign of it having it being marfu' is a visible dhamma at the end. A visible dhamma, in this case dhammatan. That's the long analysis which we'll do later. I just want to give you a brief. So this is why I said this is a brief grammatical analysis, which I expect everyone to memorize. So going back to page 1 then, every single sentence will make a simple grammatical analysis. هذا بيت. هذا مبتدأ مرفوع. هذا مسجد. Sorry, بيت خبر مرفوع. Next sentence. هذا مبتدأ مرفوع. مسجد خبر مرفوع. هذا باب. هذا مبتدأ مرفوع ومبتدأ مرفوع. باب خبر مرفوع. هذا كتاب. هذا مبتدأ مرفوع. كتاب خبر مرفوع. And we can do that for every single sentence on that page. That is what we call brief i'rab, or very general, short grammatical analysis. Okay? So that's the grammatical analysis of the sentence. Let's move on now, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Let's move on. And let's turn the page for the first time, inshallah. Let's turn the page for the first time. The new title is Ma Hadha. Ma Hadha. What is this? So in front of you, you should have a sheet which says the interrogative pronoun Ma. The interrogative pronoun Ma. Actually, before we go on, I wish to talk about the translation of page 1 and the reason why we translate the sentence with a certain connective or linking word. If you can go to the sheet which says translation of page 1. Translation of page 1. So, ad-darsul awwal. Ad-darsul awwal, which means the first lesson. As you can see, I've crossed out the. Why? Because once you mention the once, it's not needed again. So the first lesson, ad-darsul awwal. And we went through this in a little bit of detail previously. Hada means this. And we know all about hada in detail. Yeah? How it is used. Hada baytun. This is a house. Hada masjidun. This is a masjid. Hada babun. This is a door. I'm going to put emphasis on is here on every sentence. Hada kitabun. This is a book. Hada qalamun. This is a pen. Hada miftahun. This is a key. Hada maktabun. This is a desk. Hada sarirun. This is a bed. And hada kursiyun. This is a chair. As you can see in the Arabic, there are only 2 words there. Whereas in the English translation, each sentence has 4 words. This, we know, refers to hada. As for is, then can you go on to the second sheet, or the other sheet that I have given, which says there is no copulas in Arabic. There are no copulas in Arabic. What is a copula? The sheet, all of you should have in front of you. It says there are no copulas in Arabic. So what is a copula? A copula is a term for a word that links the subject, the mubtada, in a sentence, the subject in a sentence, to a subject complement, or what we call a predicate, the khabar. So it's a word in English which links the subject to the predicate. Yeah? We do not have this in Arabic. We do not have these types of words in Arabic. Example of copulas I've given you here is, am, and are. A-R-E. Yeah? Is, am, and are. For example, the house is close. In Arabic, there is no need for is, because there are no copulas needed in Arabic. So, the house refers to al-bayt. Sorry, in the online version, I had this all color coded as well. But unfortunately, my printer was not working. The green and the blue was not printed out correctly. But al-bayt refers to the house. Tick. Qareebun refers to close. Where is? There is no copula. There is no is or that copula is in Arabic. So that's why we don't have a word for it. In the example, or the next copula, an. In the sentence, I am a student. The Arabic equivalent, ana talibun. Ana refers to I. Na'am. Talibun refers to a student. Where is am? There is no copula am in Arabic. They thought it's not, there is no word there. So, ana talibun means I am a student. And am has to be brought in the English translation. Are. We are students. The Arabic, nahnu tullab. So nahnu means we. Tullab refers to students. Where is are? There is no copula are in Arabic. So that's what's very important. So some may ask the question, okay, why do we need 4 words in the English to translate, for example, هذا بيت? That's because number 1, there's no copula in Arabic, is. And as for a house, we know that baytun is nakiratun, indefinite. That's why we translate it as being a house. Yeah, why? Because when you see a noun, an ism, with no al prefixed and tanween at the end, we translate it as being a something, an indefinite noun. So now we know in the sentence هذا بيت, هذا is this. Is no copula. A house, yeah, Baytun is a house. Why? Because Baytun is nakira. Okay, so the A is within the word Baytun. Inshallah, that's understood. Ikhwan, any questions? Sisters, if you have any questions, just put a piece of paper underneath the curtain, inshallah, and then we can always answer the question, inshallah, during the lesson. So that is the copula. So there is no copula in Arabic. Okay? Now we can move on to the second page. Ma hada. What is this? Ma hada. What is this? So, go to the sheet which has the interrogative pronoun ma. And you have a little spider diagram there. So first things first. What does ma mean? Ma means what? Ma means what? What's the istilah, or what's the terminology of this, what ma is? How do we explain what ma is in grammar? We call it a ismul istifham, an interrogative pronoun. Yeah? To interrogate is to ask questions, isn't it? When a police officer is interrogating a person, he's asking specific questions to get specific answers from him. Just like ma is used to get a specific answer from a person. Okay? So it's an ism referring to the noun or pronoun. Al-istifham referring to interrogative. Okay? So it's an ismul istifham. That's the name, grammatical name of it. Okay, what is it used for? It's used as su'alu an ghayr al-aqil. It's used to ask about inanimate nouns. So, for example, if I had Muhammad here, and I want to ask about this noun, Muhammad, can I say ma hadha? Can I say in English, what is this? Referring to asking about this individual, a man? No, because what is not used to ask questions about a animate noun. But if I had a pen here, and no one knew what this thing is in my hand, and I say ma hada, then this will be correct, because qalamun is inanimate, it's ghayru aqil. So ma is used to ask questions about a ghayru aqil noun. Ma hada? Hada qalamun. Ma hada? Yeah? Shall I just leave it like that? Yeah? Sorry. Let's fix the mic. So, ma hada? And I'm referring to a book here. Hada kitabun. So I can use ma here, because ma is used to ask, it's used to ask about animate nouns. Asking about animate nouns. Okay. Let's go on. Ma is also mabniyun. It's indeclinable. It never changes. And it's mabniyun ala sukun. Why do we say it's mabniyun ala sukun? Because ma, on the alif is a sukun, yeah? Ma, on the alif is a sukun. All alifs, normally they are sukuns. Yeah? All alifs, they have sukun. So it's mabniyun ala sukun, meaning that it's always ma. It's never mi, mu, man, min, mu. It's never like that. It's always ma. It never changes. It's indeclinable. And the last thing we want to mention in regards to ma, that it's followed by an alamatul istifham. It's followed by a question mark. It's followed by a question mark. It's followed by a question mark. And the question mark in Arabic is in reverse to English. The question mark in Arabic, it's aks in Arabic. So English, the head of the question mark faces towards the left. Yes? Whereas in Arabic, the head of the question mark faces towards the right. Now, so an alamatul istifham, we call that a question mark, yeah? So when you use ma, then at the end of that question, you will write the alamatul istifham. Alama meaning sign or mark, yeah? Istifham, question, yeah? Alamatul istifham, a question mark. Okay, so that is ma. Let's look at the example then. Ma hada. Baytun, this is a house. So why was ma used here? Because hada was pointing at the house, the bayt. And we know the baytun is غير عاقل. We know baytun is غير عاقل. This is the reason why we use ma. So ma hada baytun. Now on the third line of the page, it says ahada baytun. Ahada baytun. And then question mark at the end. Ahada baytun. Okay, so what is this or this hamza? What is it? I haven't given you a sheet for this. So for this week, I'll just write it on the board, and then a picture will be taken and will be placed on Twitter, and the sheet will be given next week, inshallah, for the sisters. So please excuse me. But this is another type of interrogative, or interrogative. But it's not a noun. It's an harf. It's an interrogative particle. Very important to understand this. So this, they call it, there's two names for this. They call it a hamzatul istifham. A hamzatul istifham. Hamzatul istifham. Or they call it a harful istifham. Harful istifham. Okay? Now. No, there shouldn't be a shadda. Huh? No. Alama. Yeah? No shadda. That's referring to a great scholar. Allama. That's something else. No. So, this is a hamzatul istifham or a harful istifham. Okay? So it's also they call it an interrogative particle. An interrogative particle. Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah. An interrogative particle. You might ask, what's the difference between an interrogative particle and an interrogative noun? Okay? I'm just going to say it really briefly, but as it goes on later, inshallah, we'll go into more detail. When it comes to interrogative nouns, you can analyze them. Interrogative particle, we do not analyze. We do not analyze particles. Prepositions, we do not analyze them. Huruf al-qasm, we don't really analyze it. Or anything which has harf, any particles, there's no analysis, there's no i'rab of it. That's why they say this term, لا محل له في الإعراب. There's no place for it in the i'rab. We don't make analysis of them. So that's the difference between an interrogative noun and particle. Some of you may not understand that yet, but it's not important to understand that at the moment. Yeah? So, is a harful istifham or hamzatul istifham. What does it do? Very simple. It changes a jumla ismiya, a nominal sentence, into a jumla istifhamiyya. It changes a nominal sentence to a interrogative sentence. Yeah? That's what it does. Yeah? It changes a sentence into a question. And how do you do that? By number one, just placing it at the beginning. Yeah? There is a writing rule here. It's placed without a space. Okay, it's placed at the beginning of the sentence without a space. So when you're typing, you will not press the space bar. After this, when you type the harful istifham, there will be no pressing of the space bar. There's no space. That's why you see in your books, very close. You can see in your books, in Medina book 1, it's written really close, as if there is no space bar, or no space. That's because there isn't. No, there's no mistake there. So, It's placed at the beginning of a sentence. What kind of sentence? Jumla ismiya. Yeah? And as soon as you place it, you put the alamat al-istifham also at the end. Yeah, very important that you understand that. So, in harf al-istifham, it changes a jumla ismiya, a nominal sentence, into a question. And make sure you put the alamat al-istifham, the question mark at the end. So, هذا بيت. This is a house. أهذا بيت. Is this a house? And it's usually translated as being is. Not the copula, with that question. Yeah? Is. So, هذا بيت. If I was to cover the hamzat al-istifham. هذا بيت. This is a house. And I put that there. I put the hamzat al-istifham or the harf al-istifham at the beginning. أهذا بيت. Is this a house? Okay, see how it changes into a question? Now, and remember to always put the alamat al-istifham at the end. Now, so, أهذا بيت. Is this a house? Now, the next thing I need to talk about regards to a harf al-istifham. جوابه is either نعم or لا. Its answer, the answer to a question which begins with a hamzat al-istifham or harf al-istifham. The answer will always begin with na'am or la. Yeah? It will always begin with na'am, yes, or la, no. Na'am, yes, or la, no. And these are called, one of them is called a harful jawab. Harful jawab. Meaning la is a harful jawab. And na'am is a harful jawab. Yeah? A particle used to answer with. To give a jawab. Give an answer. A jawab is a answer. Jawab. Okay? So again, a sheet will be given to everyone next week. Give the details of this, inshallah. But those who want to see it now, then the picture has been taken on Twitter now. It's placed on Twitter now of what's on the board. So harful jawab, harful jawabi. La is a harful jawab. La meaning no, and na'am meaning yes. So the answer, the jawab to a question which begins with a harful istifham, an interrogative particle. The jawab, the answer, always begins with either na'am, yes, and that is called the ithbat, to affirm something, or la, no, and that is to show a nafi, to show negation, in the negative sense. Okay? So that's why when you look at the book, and there's a picture on the left of a house, it says, أهذا بيت. Is this a house? The answer, Na'am, yes, هذا بيت. Can you please pay attention that after Na'am and after La, you will also see this here, this little comma. Yeah? And as you can see, the comma in Arabic, again, is opposite to the English. Yeah? It's opposite to the English. And a comma in Arabic is called a fasila. It's called a fasilatun. Fasilatun. From the verb fasala, to separate.
The one is called fasila?
Fasila, yeah. This is called a fasila, comma. Fasilatun is a comma. Okay, a fasila is a comma. It comes from the verb fasala, to separate. It comes from the verb fasala, to separate. Now, and what does a comma do? It separates between speech. I'm pretty sure it's not modern time now, huh? Now, fasila, it means that which separates. And that's what a comma does, isn't it? It helps you separate speech. Pause. By pausing, you're separating the speech. Now, so a fasilatun is a comma. Now, so you will see this fasila after na'am and after la. So, ahada baytun, is this a house? Na'am, fasila, comma. Na'am, fasila, comma. هذا بيت. And then, as in English, a sentence ends with a full stop, and in Arabic, a full stop is called a nuqta. Or a stop, that dot there is a nuqta. There is a nuqtatul wuquf. I'm just going to use that nuqta for now. Or nuqtatul waqf. Show that there's waqf, there's stoppage. But nuqta is a dot. Yeah, so let's use nuqta for now, and then as we go on, we can go a bit more detail. So a nuqtatun is a stop, or a dot, full stop. Yeah, you see the nuqta there, that dot, or full stop for now. Okay. Here's another question. Yeah, so let's move on. And the question is, ma hada? What is this? And as you can see on the left of the page, there's a shirt there. Yeah, there's a shirt there. So ma hada? What is this? Hada qamisun. This is a shirt. Ahada sarirun? Is this a bed? And as you can see, the picture on the left is a chair. So it's not a bed. There's a chair there. So the answer in this case is going to be in a negative. So, ahada sarirun? Is this a bed? And I'm pointed at a chair, a kursi. La, hada kursiyun. No, this is a chair. No, this is a chair. So why is la used here? Because we know that the jawab, the answer to a question which begins with a harful istifham, an interrogated particle, like this hamzatul istifham, yeah? This we know that the answer begins with na'am or la. And why is it la here? No, because that is not a sarir, that is a kursi, that is a kursiyun. So, ahada sarirun? Is this a bed? La. Hada kursiyun. La, hada kursiyun. And we see that fasila, the comma after the la. Now we have a picture of a pen here. Ahada miftahun? Is this a miftah? Na'am, ma ma'na miftah? What does miftah mean? Key. So this is not correct, is it? So ahada miftahun? La, hada qalamun. No, this is a pen. Qalamun. Qalamun. La, qalamun. No, no such, yeah? La, hada qalamun. Yeah? This is a pen. Now, then we go on to a star, a picture of a star here. Ma hada? Hada najmun. What is this? This is a star. This is a star. And we have a surah, Suratul Najm. We have a surah called the Surah of the Star. Now, so hada najmun. Some students sometimes ask me, I think they've used the wrong word here, because it should be dhalika najmun, because stars are not close to you. Stars are far away from you in the sky. But as if we had a picture or the shape of star, then maybe you could say hada najmun. Or ma hada najmun. Okay, so that, as you can see, ikhwan, now we're moving a lot more swiftly, because we have some principles, some qawaid that we already learned. Okay, so the answer in every single circumstance, hada najmun, hada qalamun, hada kursiyun, these are all jumla ismiyas. That means hada in all of these cases are mubtada, marfu', subject, yeah? And kursiyun, qalamun, najmun, baytun, qamisun, they are the khabar, the predicate, which is marfu'. Okay? We're not going to make analysis of interrogative sentences yet. Okay? We're not going to make the analysis of ma in this case, or anything else. We're going to leave that later on, inshallah. Okay, moving on to the third page now. Tamreenun. I know some of your books don't have the harakat. Yeah, so put it on. Tamreenun. On the ta, there's a fatha. So on the old books, I don't think there's any harakat. There's no vowel signs. So, tamreenun. Okay? The ta has a fatha, the meme has a sukoon. The ra has a kasra, tamri. The ya has a sukoon, tamri. And the noon has tanween, yeah? Dhammatan. Tamreenun. Okay? What does tamreenun mean? Exercise. Or an exercise, yeah? But it says tamreenun and in brackets, wahid. So, exercise 1. Yeah? Tamreenun wahid. Exercise 1. Now, tamreenun, for those who want to put this in their dictionaries, comes from the verb marrana, to exercise. Okay? Marrana, to exercise. And that can also mean exercise as in your body. Okay? أنا أمرن كل يوم في الصباح. I exercise every morning, every day in the morning. So I can use marrana to mean exercise the body. Okay? You're going to see there's another word for exercise is train. They use marrana or darraba. Yeah? To train as well. Darraba. That's why you're going to see tadreeb. You sometimes say tadreeb wahid. Yeah, exercise 1 or tamreen wahid. Because they both mean exercise. So tamreen comes from the verb marrana. Mim, ra, noon. Okay? To exercise. Okay. So tamreen wahid. Ikhwan, is this word, is it mufrad, muthanna or jam'? Is it mufrad singular, muthanna dual or jam' plural? Tamreen. Exercise. It's mufrad, okay, singular. And the reason why I'm saying this is because later on you're going to see the plural. In a couple of pages time, you're going to see the plural of this word. So, tamreen wahid, exercise 1. Ma hadha. So I'm going to do the questioning and the brothers here are going to be answering. Okay? So, I'm pointing at this key, Akhil Kareem Hamid. Ma hadha. أحسنت. The answer will be هذا مفتاح. نعم أخي الكريم. ما هذا? Pointing at the book.
هذا كتاب.
هذا كتاب. Yeah, this is a book. Here's a pen. ما هذا?
هذا قلم.
Good, أحسنت. This is a pen. هذا قلم. أدو أخي الكريم. ما هذا?
هذا باب.
هذا باب. This is a door. The next picture is of a house. ما هذا?
هذا بيت.
أحسنت. هذا بيت. This is a house. ما هذا? And a picture of a chair.
هذا كرسي.
هذا كرسي. Yeah, remember there's a shadda on the ya. هذا كرسي. Yeah, this is a chair. So that's exercise tamreen wahid, finish. Any questions regarding tamreen wahid? Ikhwan, please write your answers. Okay? Whether that will be in a notebook or in your exercise book, please write your answers, inshallah. I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that, inshallah. So please write the answers in Arabic. Now, so ma hadha, and there's a picture of a key there. Write your answer. Ma hadha, and there's a picture of a kitab. Please write your answer, brothers and sisters. Remember, all the vocabulary you can extract from the previous page. Practice your handwriting. So ma hadha, hadha miftah. First one done for you. Or you all done it together also. Those of you who are following online on Mixlr, then please write your answers. We are on Tamreen Wahid, which is the 3rd page of the book. Ma hadha, picture of the key. What's the answer? Ma hadha, picture of a book. What is the answer? Ma hadha, picture of a pen. What's your answer? Ma hadha, picture of a door. Write your answer. Ma hadha, picture of a house. What is this? What is the answer? And ma hadha is a picture of a chair. What is this? So write your answer. Okay, so we've gone through the answers ourselves already. Let's go through Tamreen Ithnan. Tamreen Ithnan. Okay, so the first one was Tamreen Wahid. I'm just going to quickly write on the board how to write number 1 in Arabic. Wahidun. And the second exercise is Tamreen Ithnan. Ithnani. Yeah? And that's how you write 2 in Arabic. Now. So, Tamreen Ithnan, this is the second exercise. And this is using that harf al-istifham. Yeah? Using that harf al-istifham, the interrogative particle. The hamza, yeah? So, we have a picture of a masjid on the left. And I'm going to ask a question to you, Akhil Kirim. أهذا بيت؟
لا. هذا مسجد.
أحسنت. So, is this a house? لا. فاصلة, comma. هذا مسجد. Write your answer, بارك الله فيك. Write the answer. So, أهذا بيت? Is this a house? And we have a picture of the masjid. لا. فاصلة, comma. هذا مسجد. Yeah? نقطة. That full stop. Next one. Okay. أهذا مفتاح? You have a picture of a pen there.
لا هذا قلم.
Good. So is this a key? The answer, لا. هذا قلم. Yeah? Is this a key? أهذا مفتاح? لا. فاصلة, comma. هذا قلم. Please write your answer. Next one, أخي. أهذا قميص? And we have a picture of a shirt here.
نعم هذا قميص.
أحسنت. Excellent. So is this a shirt? نعم هذا قميص. Yeah? So this is a shirt. Yeah? So we say نعم, yes, in the affirmative. فاصلة, comma. هذا قميص. The last one. أهذا نجم? And we have a picture of a star here.
نعم هذا نجم.
Yes, yeah? نعم هذا نجم, because this is a picture of a najmun. Now, you can look at how the author does things. The author, Dr. V. Abdurrahim, he's an excellent teacher, and this book has been set out and organized in a brilliant way in order for the mubtadi, the beginner, to really implement what he's learned from the chapter. So he started off with 2 negatives, so you can use la, and he started with 2 and then ends with 2 ways in which you have to, or circumstances where you have to use na'am. Yeah? So you're implementing how to say la and how to say na'am, or to answer in the affirmative and to answer in the negative. Okay, the final exercise before we get to man hadha is Tamreen Thalatha, and this is just reading and writing, okay, which you can do at home. So Iqra means read, and this is what we call the fi'l amr, the imperative verb. Iqra is in the Quran. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. So Iqra ends with a sukoon. Can you see that? Iqra. Iqra. Yeah? Ends with a sukoon on the hamza. When you usually see a verb ending with a sukoon on the hamza, yeah, and it begins with a hamza al-wasl, yeah, this hamza which doesn't show the actual head of the hamza, yeah, hamza al-wasl. We'll talk about this in the next lesson, inshallah. Then that normally is an indication that this verb is an fi'l amr, the verb of command, or the imperative verb. Yeah? So fi'lu amrin. Yeah?
And you have a hamza dom.
You have it usually begins with what we call a hamzatul wasl, which we'll talk about next week. It's a hamza which is you never see the hamza written on it. Yeah? and it's only pronounced if it comes at the beginning of a sentence. Okay? So iqra, yeah? Iqra meaning read and order. Yeah? An amr, a order, command. Okay? In English we call this the imperative verb. That it's imperative that you do what I'm saying, what I'm commanding you. Yeah? It's absolutely necessary. Yes, command.
Is the same like present or not?
So no, the present tense. It's the command is in the present. Yeah, but I might say iqra ghadan. Read tomorrow. So I'm telling you about tomorrow. Yeah, but the command is in the present. Yes, but it's just we have it's what we call a imperative verb. Okay, the type of verb which is on a certain pattern and normally ends with the sukoon. Okay, in the singular sense. So iqra means read, command. Waktub or wa uktub. Okay? I want you to write uktub for me, please. So uktub, write that separately for me. Uktub. Now uktub. Again, ends of a sukoon and begins with the hamzat al-wasl. Uktub means write the command. Okay? Uktub, write the command. Fi'l amr also. But as you can see, before it there was a waw. Yeah? That means that this word has not come at the beginning of the sentence, has it? So I said that the hamzat al-wasl is only pronounced when it comes at the beginning of the sentence. If it comes in the middle of the sentence, then it's never pronounced. That's why we went from the waw to the kaf. Iqra waktub. And now wa uktub. You understand? Okay? I'm going to give you a sheet on the hamzat al-wasl. Okay? There's two types of hamzat in Arabic language. Hamzat al-wasli or hamzat al-qat'i. Okay? We'll talk about that with the worksheet next. That's it. So, read and write. Akhi, read. Naam. Now, what has Dr. V. Abdurrahim done here? The first thing you notice. Now, all the vowel signs have gone. Why? Because he expects you to have memorized all these words with the vowel signs. Remember, in Arabic books, there will be no vowel signs. Yeah? It won't be like the Quran. There will be no vowel signs. Okay? So the vowel signs will go. So you have to memorize the words as they go. نعم تفضل أخي.
هذا مكتب.
هذا مكتب. أحسنت. تفضل أخي.
هذا مسجد.
هذا مسجد. Remember, every noun will be مرفوع. Why? Because now we know that this is a jumla ismiya, and every jumla ismiya, the khabar ends with a tanween, yeah? Or tanween dhamma, yeah? مرفوع. هذا مسجد. نعم.
هذا قلم.
هذا قلم. نعم.
هذا سرير.
هذا سرير. نعم.
ما هذا.
ما هذا. What is this now? تفضل.
هذا كرسي.
هذا كرسي. This is a chair. نعم.
هذا بيت.
أهذا بيت. Is this a house? نعم أخي.
لا هذا مسجد.
لا هذا مسجد. No, this is a masjid. تفضل أخي.
ما هذا. هذا مفتاح.
What is this? Yeah? ما هذا. هذا مفتاح. Get the how, yeah? هذا مفتاح. Okay, we'll stop there inshallah. Next lesson, we'll go to man, and you have the sheet for man already. The only difference between man and man is used to ask about aqil nouns. Yeah? Now.
You said for number 3 how you say.
Sorry,
how you write and how you say number 3. Because
number 3? Okay. Yeah, tell me good ahsant. So the word 3 is ثلاثة. ثلاثة. Okay? Like that. Generally speaking, I don't point to it. That's good as masculine and feminine. We need that, inshallah. Okay, inshallah, we will continue with from man, hada. Who is this from next lesson, inshallah? If there are any questions, we do have a new email address which will be placed on Twitter, and that is our specific email address for Arabic. It's Salafi Dawah Tweeting, so sdtarabic@gmail.com. sdtarabic@gmail.com. So if anyone has any questions they want to ask, inshallah I will look at those questions on that email. So anyone online who wants to ask questions, anyone from the sisters who want to ask any questions, there's no problem, just send me an email and I'll answer that email as soon as possible. Barakallahu feek. As you can see, we are moving more swiftly now. So every time a new grammatical rule comes, we will stop and we'll go in a little bit more detail, inshallah. Barakallahu feek. Subhanallah wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka.